Walkla wana e kamahleka noing squeeze a hole maya. Walkla kamashaya esi walkla kamatnekichu. Kala song kamatnumi ske wegat kamashaya si. Walkla kamatnatame. I don't believe in a mythical existence. I believe from the banks of the Klamath River to the intricate dance of subatomic particles, the universe unfolds in patterns of interconnectedness that my ancestors have understood for generations. I call it Aya Lekwasha. In English, I call it a quantum cultural coherence model. The interpretation of quantum mechanics, yeah, thank you. The interpretation of quantum mechanics through the lens of Yurok cosmological narratives, I believe these diverse knowledge systems might be understood as mutually enriching rather than fundamentally distinct. Advancements in artificial intelligence and the diverse fields of physics have been instrumental in revitalizing our formulation process for participating in systematic relationships with nature. I call it the quantum renewal principle. I enjoyed challenging the dichotomy between scientific knowledge and indigenous wisdom. It advocates for an intrinsic epistemology that honors and diverse cognitive traditions, fostering a more inclusive, comprehensive understanding of our multifaceted reality. I dedicated my life to the culture. Because of a small sentence that my great-grandmother always told me growing up. She was an advocate for indigenous healthcare, and when she told stories, they'd paint like vivid images in my mind like a movie. And in her time, it was hard enough being a woman in America, let alone an indigenous advocate holding the government in compliance with their obligations to the indigenous people. Even when people spat on her and threatened her or made her fighting mad, she refused to quit because something her grandmother once told to her. One day, they will need people like us. Yeah. It is true. They will need people like us, and they always will. That's the mentality that our people have carried through the generations when we have popped out the other side of desecration. We do what is necessary. We have all these connections with these places because we believe that we are not the center of this existence. We believe if we live in a good way and we may become better aligned with the energy of this world, we become wealthy, old, and wise. And by doing this, our babies will have the same opportunities to participate in these systems. But these systems have been broken, but they are not gone. We, the people, have faced fear and famine, and we've faced death and destruction. And one thing that pulled us through to continue the most elite civilizations in the world is values. We maintained our systems of reciprocity with the land. Our values created a culture for us. When discussing dam removal projects, it is crucial to involve indigenous voices and the leadership from the very beginning. It is a traditional ecological knowledge, and these lands and waters offer invaluable insights to restoring and managing these systems of sustainability. While addressing climate change is undoubtedly important, the restoration is not just about meeting the state conservation goals or adopting to climate change. It's about justice, healing, and returning to a more balanced relationship with the natural world. My name is Sammy Gensaw III, and I once believed in a dream of living my life as just another fisherman. I am no longer a seeker of the serene peace. I am a person of our water, ready for war, trying to catch a fish. And I stand with you today As an advocate for a shared vision of Indigenous sovereignty, respect for the land, and vital importance of cultural connectivity, I am honored to have this opportunity to share space with you all. This gathering is a pungent reminder of our collective journey, of our hardships and the things our ancestors face, and the resilience and spirits of our communities that remain undiminished in it. We witness the transformative power of reclaiming our spiritual, political, and cultural identities through food sovereignty. As we battle the trauma of centuries past, we also hold the light for the way for generations to come. I applaud the rights of Bioneers team, and I have the commitment to bridging divides, celebrating Indigenous voices, and ensuring that our traditions and beliefs and practices are both recognized and revered. It's gatherings like these that reminded us of strengths that have come from unity, understanding, and mutual respect. To lead members and organizers and all these attendees, I'm truly grateful for the work you are doing. Our collective journey towards justice, understanding, and healing is a long one, but with every step and with every story shared and with every hand extended in friendship, we come closer to a future where our traditions, our rights, and our identities are honored. May this event not only be a source of information, but also inspiration. Let's carry forward the lessons we learned tonight, ensuring that our ancestors' lands are not only accessed, but respected and cherished. Let our children and their cherish inherit a world where they can freely connect with their roots, walk the lands of their ancestors, and continue the traditions who make us who we are. We must bring a profound acknowledgement of our place into the world, of our responsibilities to the generations to come. We are saying that the classic Euro-Americana ways of thinking, the ones that have brought us to the brink of extinction, are no longer acceptable. It is high time we challenge the mindset. Just as our ancestors honored the spirit of the river, we stand to our ground by gaining the territories, by gaining rights akin to those of a person for our rivers. We acknowledge the inherent worth and dignity, independence of any economic value. This isn't just a symbolic gesture to give rights of nature to rivers and land. It's a necessary step to ensure the protection, the restoration, and reverence of our river deserves. Yes, thank you. But this just isn't about the Klamath. Rivers and ecosystems from across the world are crying out for recognition and protection. From the Amazon rainforest to the Great Barrier Reef, to the sacred Black Hills, to the rivers of Borneo and Sarawak, to the icy expansions of the Arctic, we must come together as a global community and say, these places matter, their rights matter. It's not a path for just the Yurok people, it's a path for humanity. For far too long has a majority been living in a world where we see ourselves as separate out there and to be used. Rather, we need to see ourselves as an integral part of this environment so we can successfully be who we need to be. And we need to become in touch with the deeper truths of our existence. And in this essential endeavor, we need allies, we need voices that will echo the importance of the cause and will stand with us as we fight for the recognition and protection of our sacred spaces. It's not just about one river or one community, it's about the health, the well-being, and survival of our entire planet. And to those who might ask, how can a river have rights? I say this, how can it not? When we recognize the inherent value in nature, we understand that every element of our world plays a vital role in the intricate dance of life. The question becomes not why should we grant rights, but how could we ever deny them? As for California, our fresh waters and the communities reliant on them are in crisis due to the many biased and outdated water management practices. The vitality of human health is tied to the health of our ecosystems and communities. And this is why we must take a holistic approach in managing our modern waterways. And these efforts documenting These practices have been documented all across the world in Indigenous communities. And working together, we can ensure a healthy and more resilient California for generations to come. And while Governor Newsom's restoration plan marks significant progress, it is crucial that we address agriculture impacts on our waterways. I urge the governor to amend California's salmon strategy to ensure significant river flows for salmon survival, demanding sustainability practice in our agricultural industry, and to prevent the further depletion and pollution of our rivers and deltas. And I know everybody's familiar with the mic drop, but I'd like to introduce the dam drop. Thank you.